Today I'm demonstrating the GNet causal inference engine on behalf of group SWML52, and it's a machine learning tool that helps clinicians make individualized treatment decisions for young people living with HIV. So the GNet multi-level perceptron architecture. That's it, 128 and 64 32 neurons. Is trained on 20,890 youth from Central Uganda. It has achieved a validation score of 0.985 across the 60 clinical features, which is excellent. And it runs um using Streamline, right? So I'm going to demonstrate how it works. So under the patient assessment, we're going to look at the years. We have the demographics and art history part. So you can change according to how old the person is, or you can change whatever. You can change whichever regimen they had. Any of these can be adjusted. You can also go to the clinical laboratory markers and see what you tested in the lab, how many CD4 cells were there, and then that's what you fill in. I'm going to assume these remain 350, and hence the viral load being stable. And then under the adherence assessment, there is a self-reported adherence or the missed doses. So if say our adherence is like 83.0, that's suboptimal. And then maybe missed doses remains that. And our missed appointments is 3. All these can be adjusted. And then under the psychosocial and mental health, depending on the patient you're dealing with. So the depression score is 6. These remain like that. You can change if you want. And then the counseling and the peer support sessions. Say, I see so far there is one vacancy, 2 received, and then under the social and economic context, there is food insecure. Does the person have food insecurity? And did the person maybe disclose the HIV status, say they did? And what are they currently on these interventions? Because um, our interventions, there is OTZ, that is Operation Triple Zero, and it's it means like there is 0 missed appointments, there is 0 missed doses, there is maybe 0 viral load. So it generally helps the people on HIV stay on treatment. And then for the DSD is it's a differentiated service delivery. For example, maybe the care is made easier for and convenient for the patient. So since there are like few, you could just say maybe few clinic visits so that the patient is not overburdened, and then maybe you do like multi-drug refills so that they have enough instead of moving back and forth. And then there is the YAPS, that's the youth, adolescent, and peer support. And that's why young people support each other. They go through shared experiences. So it provides like emotional support, encouragement, medication adherence, and all that. So after you filled in all these values, we're going to generate the clinical recommendation. And now that's basically the output. So it says if nothing changed, the adherence is actually already good enough for this patient, 82.2%, and the risk is 12 over 100, which is slightly low. And so these are basically what we adjusted, like the adherence is 83, the depression was 6 over 27, that's a no, mild, HIV stigma 7/40, the social support was clean/20 at moderate, and the missed doses were 3 stable. So the counterfactual CAT-E estimates and the OTZ, it says that if OTZ was used, then the adherence would be 82.2%. If not, 81.4%. For DSD and the overall ATE is plus 6.87%. So if it was used, the difference would be 6.87% difference. And then if DSD was used, it would be 2.2%, 22.22% for the DSD, which is lower than OTZ for this particular patient. And for uptake with not help at all, that's negative 2.92. Yeah. So looking at all these percentages, the recommended was the OTZ, the optimized treatment for adolescents. The expected suppression gain is plus 6.87%, and that's a peer-led adherence support program for adolescents, including the group sessions and the peer mentor and clinical integration. And then the clinical narrative, it basically explains everything that we just changed, adjusted there. But for this particular patient, like this male is age 19, and then an ad for 2.5 years, something like that. Uh, Adherence 82 point that, then causal inference estimates enrolling, and just says the recommendation enrolling in OTZ would increase the suppression by 6.9 percentage points.